Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing well. Today's lesson is about exponents. Okay, so what if we had 1 to the power 2? You should know that 1 is your base and that 2 is your exponent. What if we had 6 to the power 12? That 6 is your base and the 12 is your exponent. Okay, but what if we had 2 to the power 2? That 2 is your base and the small 2 is your exponent. And what if we had, let's say, 4 to the power 3? You should know that that 4 is your base and the 3 is your exponent. Okay, but what if we had 5 to the power 5? Which one's your base? This 5 is your base and that 5 is your exponent. Okay, now what if we had letters instead? What if we had, let's say, a to the power 5? In math, we don't call these letters letters, instead we call them variables. So what if we had a to the power 5? Which one is your base? This a is still your base and that 5 is your exponent. What if we had, let's say, m to the power 6? This m is your base and that 6 is your exponent. So all these examples where you see an exponent, here we have 2, we have 12, we have 2, we have 3, you have 5, we have 5, we have 6. This is called exponential form. Let's start with the first example. Let's do 2 times 2 times 2. This is called your expanded form. And in today's lesson, we learn how to go from expanded form to exponential form. 2 times 2 is your expanded form. How do we write this in exponential form where we have exponents? You write your base, which is 2, right? Because we have 2 times 2 times 2. So you write down that 2. For your exponent, you write down the amount of numbers that you have, meaning how many 2's we have. We have 1, 2, 3. So this will be 2 to the power 3. Okay, now what if we had, let's say, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4? This is your expanded form, as you don't have any exponents here. You only have 4 fours. How do we write this in exponential form? We'll say we write down that 4 here. We then count how many 4's we have, how many numbers we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be 4 to the power 4. Now what if we had 3 times 3? This is your expanded form. We want to write it in exponential form where we can see an exponent. We'll say 3 times 3. So we just write our 3. For our exponent, we'll say 1, 2. We'll count how many numbers we have. We have 2 numbers. Therefore, we only have 3 to the power 2. Now, what if we had 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6? What's the first step? We write down that 6, the number that we have. For our exponent, we count down how many numbers we have. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your exponent is 5. Your answer is therefore 6 to the power 5. Number 5, let's try 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. Okay. What's the first step? We write down the 7. This will be 7. For the next step, we count down how many numbers we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, this is 7 to the power 5. What if we had all those tens? What's the first step? We write down our number, our base, which is 10. For our exponent, we count down how many numbers we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Therefore, your answer is 10 to the power 8. Now let's try 60 times 60 times 60. What's the first step? We write down our base, which is this number. It's 60. For our exponent, we count how many numbers we have. We have 1, 2, 3. Therefore, this is 60 to the power 3. Okay. Now, what if we had negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3? What's the first step? We write down our base, which is negative 3. How do we find our exponent? We count down how many numbers we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, your answer is negative 3 to the power 4. That is your exponent. So what if we had, let's say, for the ninth example, negative 2 times negative 2. You write down this negative 2, right? We then count how many numbers we have. We have 1, 2. Therefore, we have negative 2 to the power 2. Okay. Now let's try a times a. What's the first step? I would say write down the number that we have. But in this case, we have letters. We have a. And in math, we don't call them letters. Instead, we call them variables. So whenever you see letters, you can say it's a variable. Okay. We have a times a. What is our base? A. For our exponent, we count down how many numbers we have, or how many letters or variables we have. We have 1, 2. Therefore, your answer is a to the power 2. Now let's try b times b times b times b. What variable do we have here? We have b. How do you find our exponent? We'll say we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be b to the power 4. Now let's try the last example. Let's do negative m times negative m times negative m times negative m. What's the first step? We write down our base. What should be our base? Negative m. Okay. Now let's count down how many numbers or variables we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be negative m to the power 4. What if we had 2 times 2 times 3 times 3? What's the first step? We have to write down our base. However, in this case, we have 2 times 2 and 3 times 3. So we have 2 and 3. So we can write this as 2 times 3. We still have to write down our exponents. This is expanded form. We have no exponents. We want to turn it into exponential form where we can see an exponent. So we have 2. For the 2's, how many numbers do we have? We have 1, 2. So this should be 2 to the power 2. For 3, how many numbers do we have? We have 1, 2. So this is 3 to the power 3. We have 12 times 12 times 12 times 16 times 16 times 16 times 16. What's the first step? We have to write down our base. In this case, we have 12 and other 12s, and we have 16 and other 16s. So we should write 12, leave a space, times 16. Let's count down how many 12s we have. We have 1, 2, 3. So this should be 12 to the power 3. And let's count down how many 16s we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be 16 to the power 4. Let's try 2 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 2. What's the first step? We check our base. We write our base. So we have 2 here. We have 4 times 4 times 4 times 2. So we can write down this 2 as 2, leave a space, times, we have 4. So this is 4. We can write down the 2 as we've already written 2 there. Okay, now let's count down how many times 2 appears. We have 1 and 2. So this should be 2 to the power 2. Now let's count down how many times 4 appears. We have 1, 2, 3. So this should be 4 to the power 3. 9 times 9 times 10 times 9 times 10. What's the first step? We write our base. In this case, we have 9 times 9 times 10 times 9 times 10. So we have 9 and 10. We also have another 10 there, but we've already noted 10. So your basis will be 9, leave a space, times 10. How many times does 9 appear? You have 1, 2, 3. So this will be 9 to the power 3 times 10. How many times does 10 appear? You have 1, 2. So that will be 10 to the power 2. Now let's try 17. What if you just have 17? 17 will just be 17 to the power 1. And this can be written as 17. When you have something to the power 1, it's the same thing as if you just write 17. What if you have 17 times 18? This will just be 17 to the power 1 times 18 to the power 1, which is the same thing as 17 times 18. There's no need to write down that 1. What if we had 2 times 9 times 9? This will be, we write down our base, which is 2. We also have a times 9. How many times does 2 appear? We have 1, so that's just 2 to the power 1. But you don't need to write down that 1. It's just 2. Times 9. How many times does 9 appear? 1, 2. So this is 9 to the power 2. Now in the next video, I'll show you guys how to go from exponential form to expanded form.